Shades of Golden, collab with Soldier Blue and Catherine White. Softened laughter, the crystal sounds upon a sylvan breeze, the easy smiles after the ragged hours have faded from view. The azure fields of dreaming that are ready for sweet perusal as my hand clasps yours, and the night becomes velveteen with diamond cuts of light that touch our skin, as if the ethereal tapping of a heart-made warmth of code. The dialect easy to cipher with fingertips and scent that travel beyond the veils of eye and time and play of ecstasy from the screens that unfold time after time, the scenes of a deeper imprint upon my spirit than any indelible colors, and the echoes of whispered names readily upon our lips, and a melody of song in each kiss. If your heart needs a guide, I will be your candle in the dark.
To speak that sacred epithet that has crossed time's corridors, for I have touched your essence within the boundaries of form and time, yet crossed universes to reach that within thee, which calls one flame to another. In the dark, those times when your corporeal touch could not reach beyond births and deaths, I felt that quintessential, as I live within your spirit, entwined always within what I am. Across those moments you called to me in vision and mellifluous, aching for such remembering. Touching the ethereal, you were there, and so I waited for your form, now soft beside me. I touched smooth contours of your lower back, the defined topography of the physical that reflects the spiritual.
And I remember other times and other lives of breath and nothing left to chance, no breath left over, each moment a treasure, and we would not deign to share with anyone else. Just that which is reflected in each other, the fire and light we have known, time beyond time, the root of bone bringing us back eternally from our immortality, to give ease and succor to one another. The travels of sight and dream, unable to be captured by weariness or sodden sleep. We arise within each other as awake and aware as we have ever been, rising within the crystalline throat of windsong as we see the psalm of another sunrise, in each other's arms, in each other's hearts, as we usher in the next life that is ours, entwined as the beloved's. The preciousness of all learned over again, never ending, as we walk golden with the daubed glow of promise from the east upon our hearts and minds, as we sing and sigh with all that can and cannot be encompassed by mind, vision, or life, and we whisper as one and as enjoined and part of the one, I love you, said I unto I, yea, our reflections taking the individuation from us as I is reflected in thee, and thus is I. And we pause only to become one more like the other one, two halves, one whole, one spirit, no endings, no beginnings, as the sacredness of love shows us only as a reflection one of one, the beloveds entwined, speaking with one tone. The beauty, the passage of the eternal that can only be returned, never undone. Yes, say I, my heart to my heart, I love you, and the hours of our breath will only prove to strengthen the beloveds in covenant, the dreamers remade as one. I love you.
Two heartbeats sharing the pulse of one essence in form. This altar which I am, I give unto thee, each curve that of the divine feminine carved in remembrance of the past incarnation, or among the smoke of sandalwood we rendered to acquiesce, to form, divine symmetry, this union of flesh and essence, your countenance upon which I lay at one home, in that vibration that is incomparable to any other, for it is the eternal melody of the beginning of all things, the heart cell of Source reunited after the wandering years. As in ancient tongues spoken familiar in their old, we exchange vows in silence. We speak those words that cross time, time and time again, sacred. Touch, there is nothing withheld as the thread now golden cord entwined binds the vine your breath, sustains my own body, your lips speak in ancient what I have remembered in reveries now replete. The vessels lay cracked upon marbled floors.
The elixir once contained counted in ounces, now an unmeasured quantity. The sanguine sweets of DNA so mixed, melded, and meshed as to blur the edges of what came from where. And the heart's eye broken open, the gates sundered from hinges, the colors of dreams ableed in tandem across both of our dreams. That which holds Seva and the essence of life. The seeds of all held in trust I do not ask, because the message is in its implication. We have given all to each other, and the way is clear, the air is clean, and the song's but a moment at any one given measure of sound within our shared heart beat. The pulse of that androgynous drum, the one that is an echo beyond thought, self, selfless form, and formlessness, without end, words of such Alpha and Omega, long ago made obsolete.
The target only of weariness, as they hold no meaning for what we have, and we offer to each other again, as again we manage to find each other, timeless, before we ever met, again upon this plain, the fire and light born of us fain, as blessed as the celestial breeze that has enfolded sacrosanct our words of pact, our vows of total absolutes that few would ever understand without the knowing of that place of one. The flow of these words of bond before birth, and all that remained was to find the one, that one from days of old, that beloved whose equal could not be another, coming from behind the shadowlands, birthed behind the sun in scapes beyond the moment, in lands that have sunk before thought, in the airs of night before the mists of fading, in the tides of promise born from the morning star prior to sunlight. I reach across those millennium, and I see the wealth of my life reflected by your smiles and graduated definition, as we reach beyond the finite, and we cannot conceive, let alone defy, with the fullness, all that I possess. I look into your eyes and tell you without hesitation, I would die for you, my heart. In the pooling warm glades of light and soft smiles, I see only you, and I know that even as I lay here with you, relearning, known and unknown, one truth, one blessing, one easement of soul, as I say, my love, I am in your arms, and I am home. Now in this time of dispensation, fire to fire, those twined re-enjoined, we move forward. I acquiesce unto your touch.
In essence and flesh we merge, grand reunion. I will follow you always, always, to the guardians where sacred purpose awaits the fulfillment of that avowed to service, to one another and those who await what has been freely given, told by vision and now effulgent, blooming into what those who watched from behind the veils of eternities knew, while we awaited what was always intuitively valid, now incarnate. And in this time of sanctuary I trace your eyes with fleshly fingertips. That which only in reveries appeared to me, now I lay at your feet all that I am. As that blanket of sacrality wraps around us, passing into the twilight, such ecstasies the sunset plays upon our lips. That kiss enjoining quintessence, earth and sky, allies to such allegiance as this. Yes, I will follow you always, always, from lifetime to lifetime, from birth to grave, over and again, that cord unbroken, as time has no hold on such as this, nor space or elemental things they utter in reverence. As we touch those places within the exoteric, reflecting that which is eternally within, now expressed in the perfection of this individuation, long, so long that pause, now finally fulfilled within the circle of your arms, the gaze into your eyes, that place where souls reflect what is, what thou art, I am, as that place where lay the silence of sorrows for so long has now been filled with sweet fierceness, the golden of your gaze, and half smiles, shafts of sunlight through the haze.
Of bitter tides buried in sadness, now with the ease of a slow gesture filled with thy love overcomes the dearth that was the landscape that rivaled the cut arterioles of my faith in the circle of one, that which by happy happenstance has been neatly undone. The touch of your hand, the grazing glance of your settled eyes, keeping me centered in the focus of us and all that has shown itself to the promise of a life unguessed with you. Thou who art my other half, the blessed form of our spirit-born union, I am truly blessed. I wake to hear the words of union in sacred vows, pulled yet not stagnant in the azure of your countenance, and I know without end where we should be, there will be seen the other, a union unshakable, centered, inviolable. The two is one, the beloved's in sepulchral form, walking in crescendo. Through that will ever be, yea, the sweetness, being not bounded by the life we have left, but rather the beginnings of each new day, as we start with the promise we find upon each other's breath. Yea, the stars become stones, we walk with each other, unfailing, unflagging endurance, beyond muscle and flesh, all the way home as we walk entwined, the beloveds upon the ghost road.